breeze blowing, storm clouds moving in. Whatever's gonna happen, it's about to begin. I remember what the drunk donkey told me when he said, son, don't fear. Mike's where the page life is about to appear. Then he's gonna tell you about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you which way it's going, and if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news that they try to hide. Just click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Well, there'll always be some haters, but they don't understand that Mike's got a friend and 100,000 more across the land. Well, if you want to know it first and you want to know it right and you want to have time to plan, Drunk Donkey Nation tells your friend Mike, he's your man. Then he's gonna tell you all about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you if it's gonna be a storm or if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news others try to hide. Click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Yeah, here at Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nation Pride.
The duck! Shelly, the duck! Our duck! What's up, everybody? Who remembers the duck? Oh my god. I swear, sometimes I say the most off-the-wall things. I was chasing Zeta all by myself in Biloxi by the Golden Nugget. Made it to the Golden Nugget. If you were with me that night, it was a very stressful night trying to get back to the hotel. And I saw the duck and I got excited. And I guess I kept calling it the duck. It's a pelican. It's not a duck. I know that. I live in Florida. I'm not dumb. But so now we take Howard the pelican with us everywhere we go. Because it's a funny memory. The duck. Howard. I think Howard's in my truck. So, anyway. We're going to do a quickie live tonight. Howard the duck. We're going to go over the tropics, talk about the latest. We'll be back live tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. What we do is our daily brew. We do it all the time. We're going to talk about the tropics. There's been a little bit of change tonight. We're going to go over and get everybody caught up to what's going on. I didn't announce this one tonight, so we probably won't have a lot of people watching. But people will be watching the replay. So we're streaming live on Facebook, X, and Twitter. Or no, X is Twitter. Facebook, X, and YouTube. Welcome, YouTubers. YouTube is growing. We like that. Who wrote the song? Bruce. That name is Andy Simmons. Great person. Great friend of mine. He and by the way, the IMG. What is that guy's name? The Sticks guy. He did a funny little clip. God, what the hell? OMG, what is it? OMG, IG. Who the hell is this guy? I can't. I love the guy. He's this guy. What the hell is his name? OMG, it's Wix. This guy.
Who is this? No, it's OMG, it's Wix, the Floridian. What do you want, though?
He did an awesome skit tonight with me in it, so I didn't even know he did it. All right, so this is our Daily Brew brought to you by our great friends at ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. Sunday night, hope you had a great weekend partying, enjoying the pool, enjoying the beach. Hope you went to ABC Fine Wine and Spirits here in Florida. Big supporters of ours. Great family-owned, operated business from 1936. Largest privately owned in the state of Florida. Do a lot for me. We really appreciate it. Of course, we have other supporters. Done Right Roofing I just showed over here. Furman, of course. We have a lot of great companies that we like to thank. So we're going to get it right into it. We're going to talk tropics. Remember, I'm just a dude with a website. Long story behind that one. And we're going to get into it. So here's our current story. So Lee, we're going to talk about Lee. There's another system back there we're going to talk about in a little bit. We're going to talk about Lee right now. No big changes, but Bermuda's watching, and still that Northeast. I'm telling you, the Northeast should be watching close. Right, Mr. Greg Montgomery? How did you know we're on tonight, Greg? Sean Richardson. You must be a diehard because Sarah does that. So we go to eat at TBBC, right? And she gets confused between ABC and TBBC. So Sarah's like, we're going to go eat at TBABBDBBCB. So, she's over there laughing. It's our joke now. She knows TBBC is ABC. Baby, ABBBC, TBBBC. Beth, Dennis Phillips is a great friend of mine. Never thought in a million years I'd be friends with a real meteorologist. I'm a fake meteorologist. Dennis is a great guy. I love him to death. Great fan. Hey, the Bucks won today. What's up with that? Julie, big Minnesota Viking fan, and she was so bummed out. It was crazy today. The Bucks did something good. I'm over there in the car excited, and she's like making awful sounds, and I forgot she's a Viking fan. So every time the Bucks did something good, I get excited, and she got pissed. So, anyway. And the Rays won. How about that? Wendy Santiago, good afternoon. Today's Sunday. It's our second live on a Sunday. I didn't even want to go live today. Shelly messaged me. Are we going live? I'm like, okay, I guess so. What's up, Jonathan? Thanks, Jonathan. Yeah, my buddy from South Carolina. Dolphins, how they doing? How's old Dan Marino? How's he doing lately? I was the biggest Dolphins fans growing up. Let me tell you what. Me and my dad, 85, we watched the Dolphins go to the Super Bowl with the 49ers. I remember the Dolphins beat Chicago in their year that they only lost one game. Dan Marino, Duper and Clayton, my heroes growing up. Irma, oh yeah, Ryan Anderson brings up. See, I can't talk about anniversaries anymore because we have so many storms anymore. So I feel like I don't like bringing up anniversaries. Anniversaries to me seem like a time to celebrate. So when I see an anniversary of a bad storm, I almost feel like it's not really good to point out. So I don't even bring them up anymore. So Tropical Troubles, Morgan. Hey, Morgan. Holy moly, I didn't even know you're on Facebook. Morgan is a big follower over on Twitter. I love watching her. Did you get my Doritos? All right. Football. So, all right, this is what it looks like. We got a little eye now, a little teeny weeny eye, but it's growing. The system is definitely becoming more organized. This is Lee. So we're going to talk about Lee, then we'll talk about that new system coming off Africa. But holy moly, it's back. We got an eye wall. Pretty distinguished eye tonight. This is live satellite. A lot of lightning around the center. All the models predicted this was going to happen. The NHC kind of went against the models and said it wasn't going to happen. Well, now it's back to 120 again, I think it is. What's the latest? It's 120 mile an hour. Now they're expecting it to peak at 140 again. So major hurricane all the way up through Wednesday. It is expected to turn midweek. Boom, there's midweek. It's going to turn. No Florida. Don't worry. If anybody in Florida, Bahamas is not coming. Never was coming. Despite all the hype. No coming to Florida. It's going to go north. Staying west of Bermuda, hopefully. Bermuda's going to get some winds. I have a feeling Bermuda's going to probably get tropical storm warnings just because the system's going to be expanding. And there's going to be winds on the east side. So I have a feeling Bermuda, you'll probably get tropical storm warnings Thursday, Friday. Not a hurricane. You guys are good. You guys are used to that up there. But what happens after? That's what we got to worry about. Bermuda's still in the cone. We're not going to say Bermuda's 100% out of this thing. I don't ever want to do that. Here, let's go to Tropical Tidbits, the latest models. There has been a few outliers showing Bermuda, but, man, you can't go against the spaghetti models, at least up until Bermuda. These go out 7 days, long way away. sometime around Thursday, Friday, it's going to be west of Bermuda. But the big question mark is setting up. What happens to the northeast? And this is kind of the point of going tonight. There's been a little shift west, and I got to be careful how I say things because people think west, oh my God, it's going to make landfall. Well, shifts mean a lot in the tropics. And 12Z, GFS, CMC, Icon all went a little bit west. The Euro, maybe not so much west, but the ensembles did. So we still got to watch this thing in the northeast. There's no official anything past 7 days, but obviously Nova Scotia's watching. But, Massachusetts here sticks out like a sore thumb, in Maine, a teeny little bit of shift, man, and this system is expanding. So if you saw my little CNN clip, man, nothing's changed from 2 nights ago. This is going to be an expanding system. There's going to be a lot of winds. Even with a skirt, we're going to have impacts across the northeast, okay? So that's going to be interesting. 120 mile an hour, nothing to scoff at, right, Greg Montgomery? So there you go, the latest spaghetti. All right, so let's look at individual models. Let's jump right into that. So here's the change today. Let's look at it. And by the way, man, this is a pretty impressive looking storm, man. We got our eye back. Let's look at the satellite imagery. I got all these links on here. A lot of big dogs are using this microwave imagery. This shows you the core, and it's strong. The eye is strong. It's very tight. Classic. Very, very well. Right at the end, the eye completely closed off. So some of these higher resolution models were predicting 920, 910, like 9 into 910s. I mean, we could see this thing strengthen quite a bit before it makes that turn. Big question is, when does it make that turn? And that's always been the big question. So here we go. We're going to show the puppies tomorrow, but I want to show you everything going on. So let's just look at the big map. This is tropicaltidbits.com. We have this guy right here. Let's talk about this at the same time. So this is a disturbance coming off of Africa right now. It's got plenty of spin. It's very well defined. This little guy is up to 50%. This little guy could go a little more west. High pressure, it looks like it might be building in and allowing this thing to go a little west. So we're going to keep an eye on this one. Like I said, you can see it quite well on satellite. It's looking kind of juicy way out there. I don't know if I have any models up that far. I got so many. I'm telling you, years ago, we only had one storm at a time. I don't know what's happened over the years. There was times that we would get, maybe 2 storms, not 3, not 4. Remember this little blob this morning? I told everybody, don't worry about it, it's gone. We had such strong winds out of the east, it pretty much dissolved. But this whole general area right down here is what's kind of it's going to suck up 97, and it's going to end up being what to watch down the road. So it's not really organized tonight, but it did have good spin on Knoll School earlier this morning, and it kind of does now. But I was just setting what we're talking about. This general area right here is the next wave. It's coming off Africa. So then here's 97 right there. All right, so we're going to look at tropical tidbits. Now, what we're going to see is this. We're going to see our system deepening as it 920. Man, see, the Euro's going all in. 926. That is like super duper strong. This is Tuesday morning. And here comes our front. Been talking a lot about this front. Midweek front right here. Boom, boom. Jet stream. Upper level winds. Picking our system up. High confidence this thing gets picked up by this frontal line coming down. So there's people I know are asking about Florida and they're worried, but can I say almost 0%? I've never ever said 0% chance, but there's almost a 0% chance of Florida, because I know 99% of the people in Florida still don't believe this. It's hard not to believe when it's that close, but we do have a front coming down, and it's going to lift our system to the north. And here's our new system down here. So we get to next Friday, next week, this week, next week. Oh my God, I went through this morning. This week, today's Sunday. I'm all screwed up. This week, there's our new system off of Africa. We're going to be watching on Friday. And here is our system. A couple days ago, our system was supposed to be next to the Bermuda on Wednesday. Now it's almost Saturday before it moves on up. Latest Euro, right on the western tip of Nova Scotia. And if you notice, our new wave develops, and here you go. Here's the last few runs of that. We're not going to focus on this, but the general motion has been a northwest motion. We get a high pressure develop here, then it could be trouble. This is the new wave off Africa. So I just want to let everybody know there's a new wave off of Africa that we're going to be watching. This is next. This isn't this Wednesday. This is next Wednesday. So we're not going to talk about it. But I just want to bring awareness that this wave does look healthy. It's been looking healthy for days. So the euro. Let's super duper zoom in. I want to show what's going on. So here's the euro, and it is right there. Now yesterday, if you remember, it went super duper west, 962 millibar. That's still possible Cat 2, Cat 3. It's trended back a little bit to the east, 969 pressure. That's still very strong. Possible Cat 2 winds. Just clipping the East Coast. And if you notice, it's pretty much due north. So everybody's been talking about when does it turn. Does it turn later? Means it might go more north. There's a lot of signs. Nothing has changed from the last week. There's a lot of signs. High pressure is going to build between Lee and Margot. If that high pressure is strong, which is starting to show on other models, which I'm going to show you, it could temporarily make our system go a little west before east. And that's what the euro did yesterday. So that's a real possibility. I have screenshots from big dog meteorologists that said this is not going to hit the U.S. And maybe it won't, but you never say never in the tropics. Latest GFS goes north, and look at that. Turn. Little turn, then an escape. Boom, boom. That's almost a hit. Almost a landfall right there. 967. Almost hitting land. Practically hitting Massachusetts. 967. Remember, the GFS isn't a great model. I always say that. I got to get that disclaimer. Oh, by the way, the other disclaimer. Oh, I already said I'm not real. But 967 is pretty darn close. And look at that little turn, then a turn. So we're seeing that high pressure that I've been talking about possibly come into play. The slower this system goes up. Originally, it was supposed to be Wednesday by Bermuda. Now it's like Friday. That means the frontal line is getting weaker. High pressure is building in, allowing a little push. Not official, but it's very much a trend that we're seeing towards the East Coast. The latest Icon, another model that's terrible tracking, but just to show you that it's doing the same thing. North, turn. North, turn. See that? North, turn. By the way, we're on troupicaltidbits.com. Levi, if you're watching, I forgot to mention it. I always make sure to give you props, buddy. Years now I've been using Levi's stuff. He so graciously allows me to do that. And I consider him a friend, even though we haven't met. But I always try to give him plenty of credit. Icon. So 2 models going up, turning. Yesterday's Euro going up, turning. High pressure appears to be trying to build in. Another thing I want to note here is this, and this has not changed. Look at this west side of the system. We're going to be having high pressure helping accelerate this drying out the east side. All the models have been showing the west side extremely wet in a lot of the storms. So this magnifies the fact that if even with a skirt a lot of this moisture is going to end up still on the coast. All the models are showing this. Icon, we already showed you the GFS. Look at that. All the heavy moisture west of center, even the Euro, showing heavy moisture west of center. We're going to have a full moon on the 15th. This is the 16th. So I've already shared it. I'm going to show you again, but we have a lot of wind maps showing waves out in the Atlantic becoming a big issue. Full moon, new moon on the 15th is only going to make the tides higher. So any areas that are prone to flooding, you're going to be a little more prone to flooding, even though the system is still passing by off the East Coast. All right, CMC Canadian model. Canadian model, we didn't show this one yet. Did you see that little turn? Not much, but a little last second jog, and then it off to the northeast. So we're seeing this little possibility here that this thing is going to start. It's a trend, you know. We look at trends, and this thing is not turning hard east out to sea. So that's really the only change today. Now we go to the I showed the Korean model earlier. The only reason I showed the Korean model is I didn't realize it did really good last year, and then I read about Idalia, and it did really good for Idalia. So I've been watching the Korean model, and the Korean model has been showing all kinds of scenarios. I didn't do it there, but it did it last night. A turn. So that's a real setup that's starting to show. Now the latest 12s, he didn't do that. Went to Nova Scotia. So it's nothing to get worried about. It's just we're not seeing a trend to the east. We're seeing, if anything, a little trend to the west. I saw some big dog meteorologists today talking about the ensemble mean has shifted a little bit to the west. Timing is going to be next weekend. If this thing decides to do that. This is next Saturday. So that's pretty much the big difference today. Is that possibility the Northeast still in play? You know? This is nothing official. Nobody's calling for an East Coast landfall. All I'm saying, look at the size of this thing. So where we're at today and where we're going to be at this weekend. Look at the difference in size. That thing is huge. Like, humongous compared to where it's going to be at today. So here's today coming to the picture, turning. This is actually midweek, but look at the size of that thing. It's massive. So we're going to have a really large, wide wind field regardless of where this thing makes landfall. And that is the big talking point more than anything, is every single model is showing this thing expanding in size. So, you know, you can't be focusing on landfall right now because we could see impacts regardless of a direct impact. But now we're seeing some models kind of shift that way. Got me really curious what we're seeing here. Let's see. Let's look at the ensembles for the day. They did shift a little bit. They shifted all west. Here's the latest. The latest Euro. These are your latest European ensembles. These are on weathernerds.org. So if you really focus in on what's going on here, this black line is the average of the 51 members. There was a time that this black line was like way over here or way over here. Now it's on western part of Nova Scotia. So now we're starting to see a lot more ensembles on the west side. And again, remember this system's so big. This is where the center of the storm would go. So even a skirt, it's going to be tremendous impacts across the East Coast. I mean, let's say this thing goes to Maine. We're still going to have tremendous impacts off to the east side or west side. So anyway, that's the Euro. It trended a tick west, west. I didn't want to mess it up twice. I'm pretty bad about that. Let's go to the GFS. And your GFS ensemble It's really little now. Look at it. Here's your GFS ensemble. And it's definitely showing a little more west than the Euro. This is Nova Scotia, Maine. So anybody that says it's a fish storm and it's not going to affect anybody is, irresponsible, in my opinion. It's going to be a huge, wide system, and like I said, we're seeing a little more sign that this thing could wiggle a little bit more west. And if you look at the latest Euro showing you this, upper level winds, you can see what's going on. It's clear as day why this is happening. Here's our frontal line pulling our system northward. High pressure building here. High pressure will help. This will help. Everything is helping accelerate our system north. But what happens is this. And on Saturday, look at this high pressure. Huge high pressure. High pressure here is a little stronger. Guess what? It's going to kick our system a little bit more west. And this is pretty much what's happened. The front's pulled away. High pressure now is building between Lee and Margot. And guess what? You get a high pressure here, getting stronger. It does not allow any escape to the east. So it's a little bit of a trend that we got to really take into consideration, that the Northeast might have something, to worry about. Here's the latest GFS. Yes, it's showing our system down here in the tropics. This is that new one we're watching. We're just going to keep an eye on it. It's doing that. 12Z, getting awfully close to the East Coast. This is the system coming off Africa now. The Euro is showing our system pulling up here a little bit more 10 days from now. So the system off of Africa right here, high confidence that we might be seeing Nigel the end of this week somewhere here in the middle Atlantic. High confidence. Started talking about this several days ago. Here's Nigel, possibly, unless something else pops up. This is coming off Africa now. This is the orange 50% spot. This is next Sunday. And if you click here on Sunday for the icon, you click here for the Euro for Sunday right here. This is Sunday. Icon Sunday. Man, it's all screwed up. That's 18Z. I can't default it back. 18Zs don't run that far. So here's Sunday icon. I already did Euro. And then we go Sunday GFS right here. And then Canadian right here. Huge confidence by next weekend we're going to see a system somewhere around here. Here is Lee next Sunday. High pressure. So yeah, I tell you what, man, it's interesting. Winds, waves. Let's look at for example, let's look at the GFS because it's a little closer to the coast. Just to kind of give an impact map of what it could look like. We go to the winds and look at gusts. Let's look at Bermuda first. Here is Bermuda. Probably more like later Thursday and a Friday. Passing by. Still could have 64-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Sustained winds possibly 48. That's why I'm thinking we'll have tropical storm warnings for Bermuda. GFS. Euro. A little slower, but still passing by off to the west. But then we get in here to Sunday. And let's just say, here's the latest GFS. I mean, the Euro did this the other day, but that's a real possibility. Now, 973 isn't like Cat 5, but it's still Cat 2 possible winds. And I don't have to remind anybody, Sandy was a Cat 1. So these are real possibilities if this thing, heads up to the Boston area. Euro obviously farther, but we're only talking like 20, 30. It's such a little bit of angle difference. That's why it's so important to not turn your back on this thing. Before, usually these systems curve off because we don't have Margot over here creating high pressure between. Normally, these things just race off to the northeast and they're not anything to worry about. This is a very unique system, and we have a high pressure system developing in between our two systems here and blocking anything from going east. So that has not changed, man. And I mean, today's models were definitely kind of a big surprise to me because a couple of them went more west. And the ensembles are showing that a little more west. So we'll see tomorrow. We'll see tomorrow, what they do in the morning. But for sure, man, everybody here watching very close. I think somebody posted the latest tropical tidbits ensembles, and they were showing, a lot of them shifting more to the East Coast. So here's what happens. It makes sense. Slower system, more of them go west. A lot of the GFS members are now going west in the latest run of the ensembles. So bottom line of tonight's live is this: nothing is guaranteed that this thing is going to miss any sign of East Coast impacts. Latest wind maps or wave maps here for the Euro, just to give everybody an idea what it could look like. East Coast U.S. This is going to be affecting the whole East Coast with the winds and the waves. This is 82-foot seas, 82-foot wave height on the Euro. Wednesday, the yellow is about 10-foot seas going to be reaching the coast. We're going to start seeing red, which is about 20-foot seas nearing the East Coast on Thursday. 15-foot seas possibly across the Florida East Coast on Thursday. And some big, some of this darker red's 25, 28-foot waves possibly on the Outer Banks on Friday. And here's the, man, look at these waves still in the main right here. Tremendous waves are going to be coming in on the 16th and 17th, spiraling in here as our system goes by. So even with a skirt, we're going to see some big waves, man. We got new moon the 15th. This is the 16th. This is Saturday night. Massive system, man. This is wave maps, but look how wide it is. I mean, it's just massive. I mean, compare it to Margot over here. It's like nothing. This is like it's like a Great Dane, and this is like little Hunter. Hunter's like can't even keep up. So Invest 97, Samantha, hey, no. All right, so it's weird. Invest 97, which I have linked here, this is not the system off Africa yet. I don't think they know. It could become. So originally this was Invest 97, this little guy right here. This system is going to absorb 97, and these two are going to become one. So we really don't have real spaghetti yet on that system. Oh, these just came out. 00Z. 00Z just came out. And we're starting to see 7-day tracks. This is the GFS. The Euro is not on this map, but we're starting to see due north, missing Bermuda, and so far, a lot of these are GFS based. But man, we're not seeing a tight turn. That's the key point here. In years past, we would see this thing doing this, like way the heck out here. We're not seeing that, and that's because high pressure is building in. So I'm just telling you, we got a couple more days to really watch this thing. There's a lot of ensembles pointing to the northeast. It's going to be a large system. Effects regardless. That's the bottom line. So, Teresa wants to know the new system. I don't know. It might be called Invest 98. It might even be out. I don't know. Did it designate it yet? Nope. It'll be Invest 98 soon. That'll be the new one off of Africa. So. Lisa just says, instead of, oh God, I love people that come to my page and tell me how to do my thing. Instead of stressing everybody out, Jesus. Just don't come to a non-meteorologist page if you don't want to get stressed out. It's simple as that. I've been sharing spaghetti models since 2004. This is not new to me. All right, so let me try to read some comments. MJO, Jamie, actually, it's kind of in a suppressed stage, believe it or not. It's not really enhancing things you would think. You would think opposite looking at the current satellite. I did this picture earlier today, and it was, whoa, man, we got the thing really zoomed in. It's really interesting to see. Let me see how we zoom out. Right here we go. So it's interesting to see all this activity. So we, earlier today we had a big old blob here. It's gone. We got, obviously Lee, we got Margot, we got 97, and we got this system. So it's kind of busy. Today is peak season. If you missed today's live, today is peak season. So anyway, Philadelphia, 100% VP weather. You need to be watching. I'm telling you, this system's really wide, and I'm just a little concerned. Everybody's focused on landfall, and they're not really seeing how big this system can potentially be as far as width and winds. I mean, we saw that with Idalia here along the whole Florida west coast. We didn't need a direct landfall system to create a lot of flooding and problems. So, here's the latest Euro, which, I think the Euro is about as far as east now. The other day, yesterday, it had it going into, and that's not a very big swing right here. That's the problem. We're only dealing with a few miles, a little 1 degree turn, But everything's heavily weighted on the west side. We're going to see a lot of winds rotating in. So this is the area, regardless of landfall, we're going to see a tremendous, amount of potential impacts here. Depending on where this thing goes. Here's the latest GFS. Obviously making landfall almost here, but we're starting to see a few more models go a little bit more. So there's going to be a lot of wind, a lot of rain. This is a rain thunder map. So no matter what, man, we're going to see a lot of storms. You get a lot of thunderstorms with these things coming in off of the water here. Water's cool. It could turn subtropical, which expands our system even more. And that's even a bigger problem because we get wider wind fields. But if you just look at the wind field, it's humongous. So, all right. So I was only going to go 30 minutes. Shear, yeah, Jason, great question, right? Shear has not been a factor this year. Beverage of choice, Justin. Actually, nothing yet. We went to eat Hooters, and I did have a beer, but I knew we were going to do a live, so I stopped because of Shelly. Probably do a little Jack and Coke later in about 5 minutes. I gotta do a TikTok. So anyway, all right. So we got timing would be Jason. I love that, Justin. Serious news. So timing would it be? Bermuda's watching Thursday. Northeast is watching Friday, things are going to get close with Saturday impacts into Sunday likely. So there you go. And, Kim just says the same thing. It turned west. Well, you know what? We see these little wiggles. We see these little wobbles. The ensemble mean did shift a little bit to the west. And the ensemble mean is the average of CMC, UK, GFS, and Euro. That did shift a little west. So the fact that the four major players all went a tick west is showing you that high pressure system might be building in because the system is so slow. It's not up there quick enough. It's allowing the high pressure to build back in. So anybody that says there's no chance of any impacts to the Northeast, it's just wrong right now. So anyway. All right. So here's the deal. We're going to be live tomorrow and 9/19. We'll talk about weather, see what the overnight 00Z models show. 11 o'clock tonight, we'll have a new NHC track. We'll see if there's any conversation about how much day 4, day 5 spread is. They talk a lot about that. The turn is coming. It's confident. It's stronger than they expected again. We have a definite eye with a lot of lightning. So it's definitely getting stronger again. And some of the high resolution models kind of predicted this. Let's see what the latest halves. I'm trying to get that right. Latest halves model is saying it's going to come down to 927. The latest Euro is saying it's going to get down to 923. So they're still predicting this thing to really get stronger. That's two models, but the H-Wharf says it's going to get down to 9. It's not showing anything much lower. Right now, what is it right now, by the way? Let's take a look at the Hurricane Hunters on Tropical Tidbits. In the storm, they're showing 952. 950 maybe. So yeah, it's dropped quite a bit. It's down to 950 range. So it's gotten stronger, which it looks like it's gotten stronger. Uh-oh. Ooh, I thought we crashed Chrome. I haven't crashed Chrome all year. Only in January I crashed Chrome one time. Got like 40 tabs open here. I don't even know what I'm looking at. All these animated tabs are... There we go. It's making another pass, so... We'll see what it shows here on the next pass. Looks like it's about low 950s now. So it's getting stronger. This is the graphic. I like this one on Weather Nerds. This one's got lightning on it. Looks like an eye to me. Getting a little dry air, but earlier today we didn't have an eye. We got an eye again. So it's back to a major hurricane. West side, Brianna, 100%. This thing has always had west side, and it's going to have tremendous amount of west side rains and storms as this thing approaches the northeast this weekend. You were here January? Who says that? Jeff, you were here when I crashed it. It was in January, right? I crashed Chrome in January. The system that's coming across, coming off of Africa, we'll talk about a lot more tomorrow, but this is next weekend. It's definitely showing strong signature next weekend. We'll go to SpaghettiOs here. We'll take a look. Oh, God, there's all kinds of ensembles. Look at that. The majority of them are showing a turn. So this is the area coming off of Africa right here. This is this is so far away. This is so far away. It's 10 days. But anyway, 10 days from now, there are quite a few ensembles. so much can change, but that's getting pretty far west. So that system coming off Africa now that the NHC is marked orange 50. Definitely, I have a feeling we're going to be watching that one next. Definitely in the Caribbean first. At one time, the GFS even had it going into the Gulf, but we know the GFS isn't that good. So far, both of them recurve. This is Friday the 22nd. All these little possible positions are from our orange 50%er right now. And this is actually 21st. That's a long way. It's 11 days from now. So that's this little guy right here that the NAC is watching. This one. So in 10 days, it looks like this thing could be like here somewhere. Around the 21st. And we still have nothing brewing in the Caribbean. Yet. So we'll be live in the morning, yes, 9:19. And the Prime Energy has double the caffeine. Justin, what are you talking about? I need some caffeine. Peace out, Jonathan. Be good, buddy. Cat 3 right now, Dr. Frankenstein. Yep. Thank you. We got a lot of new people following. We really appreciate it. You know, we have a great weather family. We have a lot of great supporters and great sponsors and support from, FEMA, Florida Division of Emergency Management, a lot of EOC offices. We have friends in the National Weather Service, National Hurricane Center, NOAA, Hurricane Hunters. We're one big weather family. Been doing this a long time and still doing it. So here we go. I know Dennis loves a Euro, and I'm kind of with my boy Dennis. He's the man. I wish I could call him right now. A lot of people think we don't like each other, but I love him. Hey, Tracy loves ABC. That's awesome. We love that you love our supporters. Saw another guy tag Furman today, too, getting a generator. We appreciate that. So, all right, I'm going to sign off. I'm getting kind of tired. It's been 50 minutes. I haven't stopped talking yet. So there's updates. And a recap. Storm did get a little stronger. It's going to possibly 140 mile an hour now. There's lightning. This is a cool map I added to the website. A lot of convection firing. It looks amazing. It's a major hurricane. It's strong. Going to turn. It's going to clip west of Bermuda. Could bring some winds. To me, it looks like it's a possibility of tropical storm. Winds and warnings Thursday, Friday for Bermuda. That's what it's looking like right now. Big question is this high pressure coming up to the northeast this weekend. Northeast is going to feel it. I have a feeling one way or another. Today's trends have, and it's fact, I'm not making it up, today's model trends have ticked a little more west. So we'll see if overnight models, they tick back east or they tick back west. If they tick back west more, then we got to really be considering that this thing could be a bigger player than some have originally thought. So if the 00Z models shift back a little bit, then we kind of know it's kind of heading towards Nova Scotia. Not good for them. But if we see a couple models trend back even more west, then we're going to have to start really looking hard at this weekend and this high pressure that's starting to build, pushing this a little bit more west. So that's where we're at. All right. Bobby, haven't seen you in a while. Bobby in the chat? Greg, I love you, buddy. How about the Jimmy Buffett quote of the night? Tom, I love your thinking, buddy. Drinking water right now. Proof. All right. See you in the morning. How about that for an ending? All right. See you in the morning. It's always hard to end. All right, two more. I want to see two more come. It's not moving north yet, Black. No, that's not going to happen until like Wednesday. Susan Proper, how you been? You're a long-time follower. Angie, hello. What time tomorrow? 9:19 a.m., Sean. Always 919. Only for the last like 5 years. Leo, what's the JB quote, Amy? That's right. My boy Furman over here. Bobby, you Jack and Coke drinker? Oh my God, I can't believe it. Sherry, good morning or good night. What day is it? Sunday? Great evening. Hey, we had a great day at ball, by the way. Emily did amazing. So proud of her. Ron loves this page. Well, we love you too, Ron. I will probably do one tomorrow night, VP Weather. Yep, we usually do that. We usually go live at night. Just to keep everybody up to date. Larry's a first timer. Oh God, I'm gonna wake the house up. God, I told everybody I'd start doing this. All right, we'll do a little bit. Shh. So this is the cowbell. Shh. This is for first timers. We're gonna start ringing the cowbell, but I didn't want to wake the whole house up. I'm a CNN king, Alan. But I was on News Nation, too. Keeping it down the middle. Did y'all see the X? Y'all on X, did you see the real meteorologist that threw me under the bus? Kind of hurt my feelings a little bit, actually. For about a minute. But... we just show the waves there, Myra, but listen, you're going to have some big waves. It's all going to become on how close it gets to you. And we got, full moon, new moon on the 15th, so more cowbell. Another first-timer, Amy. Well, welcome. And we do this all year long. We have a good time. We talk about winter weather, tornadoes. I mean, I'm always big about Storm Prediction Center stuff, and we track cold fronts and storms, but obviously during this time of year we focus heavily on tropics. So, but thank you, Angie. Thank you, Kent. OBX. I would love to go to OBX. If this thing 100% looks like it's going to hit Nova Scotia, I might still go to OBX just to see some waves. I just never been there. I want to see it. Greg wants another first timer cowbell. All right, just for you, Greg. Who's Debbie? Shh. It's so damn loud. Another first timer, Kevin. My God, where y'all been? We've been doing this forever. So 2016, Facebook started letting us do Facebook Live. I think I was one of the first ones to jump on it. We just started doing it on YouTube last year. I think Twitter, we just started doing it a few months ago. We go, Darcy, you've been on there a lot. No major changes, Jen. Big wins coming your way. My sound box, Harold, I don't know where it went. I have no idea. I was looking for that thing last season. I have no idea. That is the biggest mystery ever. The only thing I was thinking, maybe it went into my desk. We had a sound box that had cool sounds, and it just disappeared. I don't know where the hell it went. Now you got me thinking, because I thought about it the other day, and I'm like, how could this thing just disappear? Look at this. I just found an iPad. Oh, it's cracked. It's a cracked iPad. Tablet. But yeah, the sound box was fun. I don't know where it went. Somebody mailed me that thing, and now I have no idea. I was thinking about it the other day, and it's gone. So all I got now is my buzzer that says X. I guess I could have got a drink. I know I cleaned my desk. Julie threw it away, Donna. Patel, no, somebody said, yeah, Lorena, I don't care. I didn't even respond to it. Hey, what's that? Pamela from Grand Bahama. Lorena, yeah, it was probably more than a year, right? 2 years. Okay, 2 years ago. We didn't really try hard on YouTube right away. Now we're trying a little harder. Ann followed us during Ian. Cool. Con, 'Where'd it go? 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 Con, ' Eric, the only thing we got to worry about with the high pressure building is it just keeps it going north or even shoves it east a little bit or west a little bit. So we normally don't have a high pressure, but a lot of it's because of Margot. Storm surge, Chris. I wish I could tell you more, man. It's just all depends on the final track. I don't think we have any accurate anything right now. It would all be speculative. Now I have some storm surge maps. If the thing about storm surge is this, right here, right next to radar. Storm surge is very dependent upon a direct landfall or not. So right now, I don't know if these maps are accurate right now. I really don't. I don't know. But they're starting to show numbers that we didn't see a couple days ago. So it's showing, 5 feet already. So I wish I knew. I just don't know. It's a little too far. This map is going, as the track gets closer, then this is going to start. But anyway, you can play with it. I do have surge potential maps, surge maps right here. These two, you can click on it. You can get an idea based on category size. Cat 2, let's say. And like I said, a lot of this has to do with if we have a direct landfall or not. But you can start to see, areas that would be in trouble with a Cat 2. And you can zoom in on your area. But a lot of it, like I said, depends on the angle and approach. So it's a little too soon to know the effects. All you got to know is this. So a big widening system, if it's close to the coast, there's going to be a lot of coastal impacts. You can guarantee it. It's going to get big. Nothing in the Gulf. I did not read Pablo Cruz's message. Probably right. Sheila, the high pressure system. The easiest way to do it is right here. If you go to Tropical Tidbits, Euro is really good with upper level winds, but basically is this. Your basic high pressure map here shows you what we've been talking about for days, and that's this right here. So on Sunday next week, this is the big question. This high pressure, let me go to 500 millibar. You can hear Hunter snoring in the background. We'll show the doggies tomorrow. I always mess these up right here. All right. So next Saturday, this is your high pressure kind of trying to develop in between our two systems. And the stronger this high pressure system builds, there's our front in the blue, meaning lower pressures. This high pressure builds quick. The GFS is showing that high pressure building quick. It kind of blocks our system. And this is what the Euro showed yesterday. High pressure pushes our system a little bit west before it escapes off to the northeast. So that's the big question. This high pressure that's kind of developing between Margot and Lee. And they're all showing it. This is the Canadian model. They're all showing that high pressure system, which means it's a real issue, is how strong this high pressure is going to be and how much it kicks our system west, north, or allows it to escape. But the escape is looking less. Like I said, the mean, the average of our ensembles have actually, we've got a lot more on the U.S. East Coast now than we did earlier. And when I say East Coast, I'm talking about the Northeast, obviously. We're not talking Carolinas or areas like that. We're talking about the Northeast. But we have seen a swing today of to the west. So I'll be real curious overnight, you know. I believe this was going to happen, and it did. And it still comes down to this turn, you know. If it turns later, that means it's going slower. Any late turn means it's going to miss this front even more and allow more high pressure to build in. So if you don't want any impacts other than Bermuda, folks, you want it to turn early. Because if it turns early, it's going to miss probably a lot. If it turns later, it might have a little more north component to it as high pressure builds back in. So that is it. Nope, Pablo's blocked. Sean Pam from Nova Scotia. I would love to go there. I talked about it this morning. I was there one time. Brittany wants to know the strength. Good question. Anything in the 960, 970 range is considered Cat 2. You know? Cat 2 pressure wins. That's usually what happens. More than likely, it's going to expand, and you have a larger wind field, which also means a skirt is just as bad as a direct hit. I will chase it, I think, Johnny. We had such a bad weekend of softball. We got rained out yesterday. I drove 8 hours yesterday for 1 hour of Emily playing softball, so I'd rather drive or fly. I'd probably fly. Sandy was a 1, Brittany. Nigel's not there yet, Matthew, but it's definitely going to be one to watch. It's going to be the one coming off Africa. It looks like it's going to absorb 97. So, yeah, David, I think 97 and the new spot are going to end up being 1. No, you're not blocked. Somebody said they're blocked. You would be blocked. Z, I see you. If you're blocked, I see you. I see you, Z. A lot of times people think they're blocked. It's the app. If your app's blocked, it's just because the payment stopped, and that's just something the app does. Crafty Beach with a big old mic. What's up? Peak season today. Yep. You're welcome, Chris Box. Appreciate that. Hurricane Ida. Oh my gosh, Ashley, that was a long time ago. Where were you at, Ashley? I was up there. Booty, or Butte, however you pronounce it. No, what about the one that's going to hit Florida? Brittany, that's way too far away. All right. Well, I got a drink. And I got stuff to do. So 10 o'clock. All right, listen, we'll be back tomorrow for our normal Monday Daily Brew. All right, thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate it. And we will see you in the morning, 9:19 Eastern. ET, not EST, because I get yelled at about that. Twitter is a scary place. I said EST, and I had 100 people complaining about that I said Eastern time zone wrong. So now I just say ET. Don't read the internet. All right. See y'all. Bye-bye.